What's good, y'all? Hope everybody's living well and staying blessed. It's your boy Marcus B. As always, I'm with the one and only Mr. Evan Simmons. New guy Chris couldn't be here. He had some family stuff going on, so it was just me and Evan talking like we used to. But this is episode 76 of Holla at Me with yours truly. And we kind of did a deep dive on the existential crisis that I'm having. My birthday was a couple days ago, and we talk about the pressures and ideas of having your life together at specific ages and the difficulties that each of us are having with that. We also get into a deep dive of teaching and how exhausting it is and why it's exhausting and things we did not consider, like years 3 and 4 and how bad we are at them. But so that being said, if you got any ideas for us on how we could be less bad or make things a little bit easier for us, let us know. Otherwise, hope you guys enjoy the episode. If you do, make sure you like, follow, share, and subscribe. Again, the only way this gets out to more people is with y'all. So we appreciate any help, any plugs you can get us. If you need any supplements, proteins, vitamins, nutrients, anything like that, make sure you guys go to redcon1.com. At checkout, in tier operator, there's a little bar. Put in T20 Marcus B. You'll get 20% off. You'll support the podcast, and we'll appreciate y'all. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy the episode. Peace. Dude, how are you though? I haven't seen you in a while. Like, I don't think I saw you much at all last week. It feels like, even though we did have those
Yeah, besides the instrument tryout,
instrument
we didn't really have a
triments,
tryout nights.
tryouts.
Yeah, besides those, we didn't really actually see each other.
Yeah.
I've been. This is weird. The first year of teaching, we were sprinting to the end.
Yeah.
We're just hold on for dear life.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of in the same vibe, but not I'm not uncontrolled sprinting. It's just it's more like I have that destination to get to. I'm running to it as fast as possible.
I feel that.
It's not so much I don't know what's on the other side. I know what's on the other side. Got solo ensemble, spring concert. I know how to get to the end.
Yeah.
I just
Damn, solo ensemble's this weekend.
yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
It never chills out, man.
No.
It really never chills out. Imagine being a football coach. Sure, you have to kind of worry about spring football and spring training.
Oh yeah, but you're to have seasonal work must be very. Granted, we have 9 months out of the year where we're working pretty solid, but those 9 months are constantly
so
something new. Always a performance every But there's also been a couple of weeks where it's been downtime. Where it's been what's happening?
Yeah, that is fair. I guess it just feels so dense when it does happen. I guess it's also just this end of April, all of May, just nonstop.
Yeah.
Just keeps hitting.
Right. Yeah, I mean, for me, I think I have 3 more weeks for a spring concert, and then after that,
running some scales.
we're gonna. I mean, I literally have a scale test of them playing for my concert at 8 scales.
Damn.
My beginner's 5. They have to have them down
Nails.
But I really don't pull out the hits or something. Because I know I'm gonna get that question on day 2. Oh yeah, right.
Hey, what do we do, Mr. Simmons?
If we have the spring concert on Monday, and then
Wednesday.
I mean, Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday you can kind of blow up, be like, yeah, it's the day after the concert. Maybe like
Right.
you do like a writing assignment.
But Wednesday is gonna be like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, usually you would like give them, like just fun band pieces or whatever. But that's when you have like a week or two left.
Yeah.
You have like 4 weeks left.
Yeah, dude.
So
I don't know which planning is better, y'all's or mine, because I got my Perk Ensemble concert June 3rd.
definitely yours. Like you have,
It's so stressful though.
like, well, granted, like the only problem with yours is that you're having to like work till the end of the year, and then once you're done with that concert, you have to pack it up like
Immediately. Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
That's better though. I like to. I mean, ideally for me, like especially because like at my school, we like a lot of the kids like we give them their instruments.
Mm-hmm.
If we could just like last concert, like all right, everyone turn in your instrument, boom, done.
Yeah.
I would much rather do that.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
like, I'd rather like keep working throughout the year than just like get to 3 weeks out from the year and have to be like, okay, we have to
Let's keep doing some things.
we have to do something right now. I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do something.
Oh, man.
I gotta come up with that plan here pretty soon. I'll figure that out later. That's for later me to figure out. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how to do all of Solo Ensemble.
That's fair. Future Marky's got a couple rehearsals that he needs to schedule because a couple of these pieces ain't gonna make it.
How's that charm one working?
The Chan one is actually the one that is like 85%
Good.
like wrapped up. I just need to bump tempo on it. I think it needs to go 120 and we're at 100.
Yeah.
The back ends is really difficult across the ensemble, because the marimba one is going 1, lead 2, lead 3, lead 4, lead 1, lead 2, lead 3, lead 4, and that's their right hand, and their left hand is doing like one la, 2 la, 3 la, 4 la.
Ooh.
So put
No.
yeah. So luckily those dudes figured it out. The outside two marimbas are doing a similar thing. Vibraphone's got this offset triplet, triple lit.
Was this for shared spaces or?
No, that's for a book.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Antonio's just got this really difficult drum set part. But like everybody's like kind of got it figured out. It's just like finishing the thing and then bumping tempo.
Yeah.
But shared spaces. I told the kids, I was like, yo, this I'm willing to cut a couple pieces. This ain't one of them. So I need y'all to figure it out. We can't be doing this. And then like half the ensemble was out sick one day, and I was like, all right, well that means we're gonna have a Saturday rehearsal. I'll get back to you later on that rehearsal. Yeah. So like things that come together, it's just slow, and I think because we have the time to get there.
Yeah.
It's stressing me out a little bit because it feels like I should have the concert ready by next week.
Right.
Just based off of like concert.
Yeah, like it should be at least like down tempo by next week. It should be like okay.
Yeah. But in reality, like it's still 5 weeks away. So it's actually in 3 weeks I didn't have everything done.
Yeah.
So
it means you got time, but you got to structure that time.
yeah, and that's the thing that I'm realizing is just like the part that I kind of dropped the ball on was the like aggressive like UIL style rehearsing.
How do you mean?
Like the planning like you would for like your concert bands. Like I didn't do that for the Perk Ensemble because I was like,
oh, okay.
And it was mostly because I didn't know how they were gonna handle it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't none of these kids have ever really done this dense of a concert. Like 2 years ago, I did do a perk ensemble concert, but I did one piece for the front ensemble, one piece for the battery, one group piece, and then that was it.
Right.
So like that didn't get a good read on their ability to learn this type of music. So, and I don't know, man. I might have overprogrammed a little bit, but in my head, I was like, everybody got 3 pieces, plus the one all skate piece.
It's like 10, right?
There 11 pieces total. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, that's a lot. The saying that a concert's gonna have 10 pieces on it is like, damn, like that's a lot. Yeah. But then like you think about it, like every kid in UIL has 3 pieces that they got to worry about.
Yeah, so it's also like that, you know, that every kid has to learn 3 pieces, but it's also get that one, that one concert.
Yeah, yeah.
It's almost like you're teaching like 3 bands.
Yeah.
At the same time.
I am, and boy howdy, am I tired.
Yeah, just doing 2 bands would be a lot, but you decided to do 3.
The 3 bands.
3
because why not?
Death, Marcus. That's all.
I was talking to Norm about this the other day. I don't think I cannot be this way.
What do you mean?
I don't want to get too much in the conversation that me and him were having, but I know that the way I teach is not going to get me to retiring.
No. No. Like, yeah.
But I cannot teach in the way
that
gets me to the retiring age. Like that just doesn't do it for me, man. Like the idea of just doing like a simple concert of like 4 tunes.
Yeah.
Nah.
What? Not even do it like maybe 5, maybe 6. You know.
That's what because this was the thought process. It's like the top kids can hold it down.
Yeah.
And this is the frustrating thing, just about my program in general, is that the ability gap between the bottom and the top is so wide, doesn't make a lick of sense.
Right.
Because the best kid currently comes from the same school that the worst kid came from.
Yeah. So you're like
and they were both taught
by the same person.
By the same guy.
Oh.
No, were they? No, they weren't. Either way, you know what I'm saying? Like, like the percussion directors that have come through here, nobody's been bad.
Right.
So then that's why, and that's kind of what sparked the conversation. I was like, I started asking him about what have you seen the other people do, and like why is there, like I was trying to find like maybe one person just kind of cared about this thing a little bit more than that thing, and just enough of that sprinkled throughout leads you to here, and it came down to the continuity thing, man. The fact that nobody's been here longer than 3, like it just
that can definitely create like a the way I was talking to Ben about this, about like setting up like your system of how things work.
Yeah.
If kids don't have that thing to operate in, it's kind of hard to have a steady progression where they all end up, at the high school doing kind of the same same level. Without that continuity, it's kind of hard to have that. So,
hoping this coming up year, I get all the 6th graders and I'm able to kind of enlist that idea, and then it's just a matter of if I don't burn myself out in 4 years.
By 4
to see because then this will be that entire 6th grade class. Will be freshmen.
Well, okay, that'll be
and that'll be like a clear like idea of like
how it works.
Did did my idea of the way I teach and the way I teach fundamentals and how I approach fundamentals lead everybody to the same spot when they get to high school. Obviously, you're always going to have those hitters that, like, tried a little bit more and all that. But, like, the base level, like, did everybody actually get to the same base level? Because that's not the case right now.
I mean, I think the thing I've seen, at least at my school, is that the percussionists you taught from 6th grade, they are all, like, fairly functional. Like, granted, some of them need, like, more help, but they kind of help each other out.
Yeah.
But they're all very, like, I think having such a good grip on their instrument, or their instruments, as far as, like, scales goes and the snare goes, that leads them to, like, having a better, like, ability as a musician.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's, and we talked about this a long time ago when we, like, first started the show, of, like, what's the goal in teaching.
Right.
And, you know, I rolled the dice that year. Last year didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
Just by the nature of it. And then this year I did it better. And I think as long as everybody stays in band, like, I think it'll be the same thing.
Yeah.
And then if that's the case, man, I'm just gonna kind of hone this teaching process, and hopefully it works out.
Yeah, I mean that's the hope, is that whatever you set up at 6th grade, gets to you get from 6th grade to senior year, and they're like, you know, it's a steady. We still haven't seen that yet. We still haven't seen it. You know, it's gonna take like you said, it's gonna take 4 years.
Take 4 years.
I have no idea how it's gonna. Because I have a couple of kids that I started. I'm just like, I hope what I did worked.
Yeah.
Some of it's like worked. Some of it is not worked. Some things I messed up on. You know, I'm like, oh, I didn't teach you that. Yeah, that's STEM direction. Well, no, I taught them that. They just forgot.
It's stuff like that is so frustrating.
Where they say the notes are upside down.
Well, just like things like that, where, like, you should teach them, but you don't really have to teach them that. But then they'll be like, it's different.
It's upside. No, what? No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something I didn't realize. Well, I didn't think about, like, that needs to be taught. But I did think about my first year, like, I gotta teach them how to draw a treble clef. No, I don't. They don't need to know how to draw a treble clef. That's not, like, priority number one.
I make my kids draw a treble clef. It's important.
Is it, though?
I think it's important. I think it's important for me because I also make them draw the bass clef.
So they know where the F is? Or
so they know. Well, that way they just know what it is that they're looking at. Okay. Because for you, you're always, like, if you're playing alto sax, you're always getting alto sax music.
Yeah.
The clef.
Always going to see treble. Like, all the instruments I teach, except for bassoon, like, I don't really see the treble clef. So
exactly. And it's just like a familiarity thing. Like, you know that your alto sax music is always going to get, it's going to look the same.
Right, yeah.
And I use it as, like, a function to read the staff.
Yeah, I mean, like, clef knowledge is a thing that's definitely for, like, that's kind of, for me, it kind of comes from that, like, piano, like, kind of conservatory background thing where it's like you need to know how to read bass clef, treble clef, maybe alto clef.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, now everything is so, like, especially, like, in the Texas band system, everything is so, like, you're gonna read the same music, you're gonna read, like, saxophone music all the way until you graduate. So you just get used to reading. Maybe that's bad teaching in my case then.
I don't know, man.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, they're gonna. Like, I have kids that can't read bass clef now. If I gave them a bass clef part, which I don't know when I'll do that, but
the only ones would be, like, your tenor and or bari players switching over to bass clarinet. Like, I mean,
well, no, they're still reading treble clef. Yeah.
Really? Bass clarinet does treble clef?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, every instrument besides bassoon on the woodwind family reads treble clef.
Bananas.
Yeah, low to high.
Yeah, then you don't need to. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, honestly, I just don't think that's that big of a deal. Yeah. Again, that's just kind of the function of how I teach notes is based off of what is that? Like, can you actually understand what that is? And I think the only way you can understand that bass clef is the same but different is if you really like kind of get the treble clef thing.
If you know what the two things are.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Again, who knows? I've been thinking about this because I don't know when we're gonna put this out. What, probably Thursday?
Probably something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So recording it on Sunday, April 25th. Tomorrow is my birthday.
Yeah, 28.
28, man. Yeah.
Officially like late 30s.
Late 20s.
Yeah,
calm down, dog.
Late 20s.
No, I was thinking about this, and I want to get your opinion. Do you, as a child, was there this kind of like subconscious thing to where you thought that you needed to have X, Y, and Z by this age?
1,000%.
Now, do you think?
My detriment.
I want to do a deep dive on this entire idea,
Yeah,
but do you think? But before we get into that, do you think that's a generational thing?
Like as millennials,
like
we like programmed to like, this is how.
Like, were we the last? Because baby boomers, straight up, it was like
you need to have your house.
It's like you got a wife, you got the first kid on the way, you got a house.
25
by 25, and then.
Jeez, oh man.
Right, yeah. So I'm 3 years late, and you got a couple months to figure it out.
No.
You got to get yourself a wife, and then like you got to have a kid in 3 months. I don't know how you're gonna do that, but
that's stressful. Too much stress.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like that is pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
And then was the next generation as clear cut?
No, I think definitely in the to me like the Generation X, they definitely had a that was kind of the sounds like super misogynistic, but like the working women thing was like the the 80s, like it was kind of
that's fair. Yeah. Okay.
Like very much in the idea of you don't really have to have like everything set up, and that's but they still had kids before.
But I think that was still the majority.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what I'm alluding towards is that our generation is the last generation where the majority of people thought that by this age, I have my shit together, for lack of a better term. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like you should. That was definitely a thought, I think, for a majority, because we were still the what I think it dawns from. We were the last, at least like in recent history, we're the last group really to you have to go to college.
And this exactly. This is what I want to do deep dive on. Is like, what are the reasonings behind these ideas?
I think that was a big part of it. Was you have to go to college. You have to get a well-paying job. There wasn't so much like you can be a TikTok star.
Yeah.
Granted, there was some of that. We're the YouTube generation. Like,
but we were at the front of that, and I still don't think that was. We have a couple people in our lanes that parlayed that into it, but I think that is legit just on the cusp because because you're on the line between millennial and
1996 is like the I think it's the breaking.
Yeah.
Some people say 1995. Some people say 1996. It's pretty much. I mean, but I'm also like, there's a weird thing called like zillennials where like kind of where like I can understand what the Gen Zs are saying.
Yeah.
But also like I hate it.
Yeah. And I think I don't know too many people on like YouTube that are my age.
No.
A lot of these cats are your age, which is which sure there's 3 years difference, but for whatever reason
like my kind of age, that like 1996 to like almost like because you were 92, 93, yeah. Kind of that 93 to 90 like 97 range. That's kind of where like those people are doing the YouTube stuff now.
And I think it comes down to how you grew up in those like teenage years, because I was still what do they call it, like a porch light kid. Like when the
when the street lights come on,
you come inside, Right. But there was the same time there was the cats that were already figuring out E-Bomb's world, and
I was kind of already on the internet by like early like fourth grade.
Yeah,
like we kind of
see, I wasn't even though it was there, and I had homies that were about it. I didn't get into anything. It
wasn't as widespread. Like we had, like I think our first like major like internet-based class was like in 6th grade. Like we had a whole class based on like being on the computer.
Yeah. BCIS.
Yeah, BCIS.
Yeah. All right,
was that? Wait, did I? So middle school, I went to the science and technology school.
Ooh, fancy boy.
Was not. Was not fancy at all. I might bleep this out, but I had a teacher named Miss.
That's not real.
1000% real.
I'm a nice guy. Yeah. I want to bully the crap out of her.
No, you don't want to bully the crap out of her. No, you do not. You do not mess with her.
She'll eat me.
Oh, she will beat you up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's really old black woman like.
That's crazy. That's
teaching like AutoCAD, like that was her. Like it was like really. But yeah, that was my technology class. But man, but yeah, like we were like kind of the generation where like we were on computers more younger, so that became like the major like YouTube.
Yeah, it wasn't a requirement for me.
Right.
And I think when you guys came around, it slowly started becoming a requirement.
Right.
And then like the Gen X, right?
Gen Z.
Yeah. Gen Z is like straight up requirement. Like you were.
Right. Yeah.
You are attached to.
Yeah, the Christian generation is like you from like first grade.
There. Yeah. Like you're doing something. Right. What do they call it? Integrated learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've been fighting this battle.
Yeah.
It meant like inside my head of like
should you have everything together? Like
yeah.
See, to me the idea of having everything together got ruined for me in college, and here's why. I thought I'm not going to use this person's name, but in high school, this person was a senior when I was a freshman.
Yeah.
I thought he had his life. Like, as a senior in high school, it was together. I was like, got a job at Chick-fil-A. Like,
got your own car?
Got your own car? You have a girlfriend?
Hold on. Pause.
Hold on. You're basically 40 now.
You really out here.
Right. Like, this is no one. Like, at this age, and then, as you grow up through it, and you get to senior year, and you're just like, oh, I have a job.
I don't have it together.
I don't have anything together. I'm like still scrambling. And then, once you get to college, and then I went to the same college as this person, and I was like, oh, you just keep going through stages of having your life together.
Yeah.
I think you have stages where you're like, things start to like make more sense. I don't really know when. I think to me, honestly, whenever your life is together, that's a problem. It sounds like. I'm expanding on that.
Yeah. I think I get what you're saying, but go on that.
No, like to me, whenever everything is like settled and like you have, to be like stereotypical, but like you have wife, kids, good job, things going well at the job, like you got your neighbors, friends, barbecue every other weekend or whatever. Like whenever everything's just like super square like that, I feel like that's when you don't really have like any ambition.
Do you think you're done growing?
I think you're done growing personally.
I feel that. No, I see what you're saying.
And that's where, I mean, some people like to think, if you're at that point, you're not you should be. You are done growing personally. Like, no, you should be growing personally all the time.
Yeah, you should. You should keep going.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to just kind of be like, all right, I made it.
Yeah, some people like to think once you have, once you get like, and granted, once you have kids, a lot of your life becomes like your children and stuff like that.
Of course.
But like, if you're not experiencing any personal growth after you have kids and like your life is good, then like, I don't think you're doing well.
Yeah.
I think doing well to me is like growing.
Okay. I dig that. And I think it's stuck in my head, like the back and forth is stuck in my head where it's like, okay, made it 28. Don't have any unexpected kids.
That's true.
Good thing.
Yes. Yeah, the fact that we weren't parents by like 20 or like earlier than that, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, chalk that up on the W side.
Yeah.
But like, no disrespect to anybody that does have kids.
If you did have a kid when you were younger, like, hey, you got it done early.
Yeah, you got it done earlier. And it's like, this is also what I've been thinking about too. It's like, I'm going to a bunch of these weddings. So then just naturally, like, my buddies are going to have kids.
Oh, yeah. All your friends are going to
And, like, I'm going to these weddings and there's no kids.
Yeah.
No kids at this wedding. And then, like, by the time I have a wedding, like, certainly there's going to be a handful of homies with a kid.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, people that just got married now, like, think if you got married, like, 4 years from now.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to have a kid.
Yeah, I mean, my boy does. I don't want to, I'm not going to say anything, but, like, I went to his wedding in August, stood in his wedding, found out that wifey is 4 months pregnant now. Like, bananas.
Yeah.
And it's just...
your wedding's going to have to be different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I still want...
Or say no kids. That's it.
It's things like that I've been thinking about where it's, I'm fixing to try and get a house.
Do you have to get a house that's made for kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm not... To me, I'm not emotionally capable of thinking of that right now.
I don't know if I am either, but I kind of am like almost forcing myself to do it.
Probably should get a 3-bedroom, but like, you're like, me, I'm just like, like it's just. I was also having this thought the other, I think just this morning, thinking about like grad school and stuff, and I was like, wait a minute, if I have kids. I can't move to Michigan. I can't just jump to Michigan like in the next I can do it in the next like 5 years maybe.
Yeah.
But after that I can't.
And we were talking about it with Connor. I was talking about it with Connor. I think just a couple of days ago actually. Yeah, where he's like, I don't have the option to go do grad school because I already did it.
Oh yeah,
you like that
right.
That kind of like skate out of I don't know what I want to do next, but I think I could go do let me go do grad school. Kind of figure that out.
What's next is a hard question.
It's a hard question, bro.
And see, that's where I think people. Number one, I think that's when people have kids. For a lot of times, people have kids because they're just like, all right, we're married, we both got jobs.
Yeah,
let's throw a kid into the mix. Let's.
And it's interesting looking at the other different people's lives. Follow Joe Rogan. Sure, he had a kid. So what is he? 55, I think.
She's 55.
Yeah. Rogan's 55, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. He had a kid. He has his oldest daughter is 21. So like 20, 22, something like that. Like,
jeez,
like a little younger than us.
Yeah.
Then he's got two kids that are like 11 and 9 or something like that.
Well, that's
you know what I mean? So that means that he had these two kids in his 40s.
Yeah, the kids in your 40s, that's... I don't want to be an old dad. Like,
but my thinking is like, it makes sense for that life, because imagine if you're a comedian.
Oh yeah, as a comedian, definitely. Like,
but this is the other part of it. So I'll finish the thought. Yeah. Imagine you're a comedian. You know, they don't say you have a voice until you're 10 years in. Let's say you started at 21, so at 31 years old, you finally have like some credit.
Yeah.
You have a following. You have an idea of what it is that you're doing, what it is you're saying, blah, blah, blah. So that's at 31. I feel like I'm closer on that scale.
You are.
Right? So then, okay, so if I'm on that scale, let me put myself against Andrew Schulz. He just now got a girl at 37, just now proposed.
Wait, when did he start dating her?
I think like two years ago, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that. So 35.
Well, yeah, that's the weird thing. Like, I didn't know people got like, sounds like, I didn't know people got found people like 35.
Yeah.
Like, I assumed.
And it's so strange because
it's happening in your 20s.
For whatever reason, it just feels like it's the band world.
Yeah.
Where by 25 you got somebody locked down, and you're more than likely that's the chick, that's the dude that you're gonna wife up.
Right. Yeah.
Why is that?
I think it all comes down to like that comfortable like next step. I mean, like like you said with the whole grad school thing, like if your next step is like, we should probably get married. We've been dating for 2 years.
Yeah.
We should probably go and get married. Like, if that's your next step, then because our like lives aren't as like jumpy. Like, we've been in the same place for 3 years. You know, if we met someone like our first year, we would be trying to get married to them now, which is weird.
Which is very weird. And it's like,
it's very weird sentence I just said.
Do you think it happens a lot in the band world because a lot of these cats get the gig they wanted within the first like 5?
Yeah.
So then,
yeah, I think
they're just as soon as they get that gig, they just lock everything down.
Yeah, but by then you get to the point where like, because like this is something that I was told whenever I was like first looking for jobs. They were like, you need to go somewhere and they need to think you're going to be there. They need to think you're going to retire there. And like if you get to that next job where it's like, it's a good job, I'll be here for forever. All right. Like, I think a lot of people get to that point. They're just like, I can retire here. I can be here for the next, even if it is like 20 years, that also might be it. Somewhere where you can be for a while. That might be like, all right, cool. I've got 15 years here. All right, let's get married. Let's have a kid. Let's like, settle up on like in the band world, like get our finances all together.
Yeah.
And then in 15, 20 years, all right, now let's move somewhere else. Because by then you're financially and emotionally stable. Yeah. It's a mess.
That I don't like anything about that. Like honestly, I don't want to say that bums me out, but like,
what part of it do you not? What part of it do you not like?
Just the idea of finality.
Yeah. that your life isn't over. For some people, that's like your life is starting.
Then, but it although there is like a next step in it, that I feel like the next step, you see the last stair on the staircase in that instance.
Yeah.
But up until now, that staircase is infinite.
Yeah, but like the idea of retirement is like far away. That makes no sense to me.
It makes zero sense to me. But like
retiring at 65, like that's 4 years from now. Like, I have no concept of that. In 20 years, it's gonna make a whole lot more sense.
It will, but then like we were talking about off of air, like am I even gonna make that far? Like in teaching, do I want to make that far?
I mean, my kind of like idea right now. I don't think I've talked about. Maybe I've talked about this in the podcast, but like. I want to teach for 40 years, but the way I want to do it is the first 10 years of my career, I want to learn. I want to learn stuff. I want to get better. I want to grow my definitely go to grad school, maybe get my doctorate. Haven't decided yet, but I want to get all that learning done.
Okay.
And then 10 years of I'm gonna do it good, and then 10 more years of I'm gonna do it good somewhere else.
Okay.
And then 10 more years of critiquing, judging, that's gonna be the last 10. And then retirement is maybe you come out every once in a while.
Yeah.
Judge or whatever, but that's kind of my idea. But am I gonna get to the end of my learning phase and be like, am I gonna learn that I don't want to band direct? I don't know. We'll find out.
And this is the other thing I've been thinking about. So let's take the comedy model, 10 years.
Yeah.
It felt like 10 years was college was a part of that. But it ain't.
No.
It's 10 years of straight up teaching.
Yeah.
And we're 3 years down and your boy is tired.
I'm telling you, dude, if you there's a certain, I'm not saying I would never, and if you do this, it's all you. But I would never get to the point of having some directors have a 12-song cycle.
Oh God, no!
They just have their UIL 12 and they just rotate that for 20, 30 years. I never want to get to that point.
That sounds like those comedians from the 80s that just
the same jokes that they've been telling since
the same hour
1982.
Yeah.
It's you gotta update that, man. That's it's not gonna work anymore just because you have copies of that.
Yeah,
does not mean you keep playing that same music. You gotta change that. But I never want to get to that point. But there's a certain point of you need to be comfortable in the job, and doing too much is always to me uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like that. Just doing too much is always doing a reasonable amount, but a reasonable amount is to me that's fine. But doing too much is it decreases your ability to be I can do this for a while. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. It's maybe I had too high of expectations of what I was going to do teaching out the gate.
I mean, I was thinking about this on the drive up here. I was because you talked to me you want to do a deep dive, and I was like, man, remember we talked about first coming here we're gonna win state in 5 years. It's oh no. I don't think anyone can do that. I don't think anyone out the gate can just be especially with the programs we're working in it can't get changed around tomorrow. Because that would have been you would have had to been state ready last year. And just but that's also we talked about this on the mental health episode, just managing expectations.
Yeah.
I think when we first come into teaching, everyone has these grand expectations of I'm gonna take over the world. It's going to be awesome. It's like, no, you're going to take your time. You're going to take your time, figure out what you need to do in 10 years. To me, that's been like, you know, at 10 years, you're like, I know what I'm doing. Like, yes, you still make mistakes. You still should grow. That also, like, you know, after my 10 years of learning, I'm not saying I'm done learning.
Yeah,
I'm saying,
no, of course.
I'm saying by then, I should have a pretty good system of how things work.
Of what it is that you do.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I guess it's also just this being surrounded by the level of burnout.
Yeah.
That we're surrounded by. It's just, you know.
Yeah, teaching as a career, everyone, like, I keep noticing that the longer we get in the job, more people are just like, can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like I didn't, especially now with like COVID and stuff. I think a lot of people. I think if anyone burned out, it was because, like, COVID would have burned them out.
Yeah.
This year, like, oh, I have to keep doing this. Like, I have to be on the computer for all day, every day. Like, computer science degree, let's go. Like,
yeah, honestly.
Or like, let's go do coding. I had that thought the other day. I was like, am I gonna be? No. I had that thought for a second. For just a second, it was a twinge.
I still can't. I still can't bring myself to doing something like that. Like, I think I would just shoot myself in the foot.
You're like, I need something.
Yeah, like I can't. I could not imagine.
No, yeah.
Like, I got my boy. I saw him last night. Love the kid. Again, I don't want to call him out, but he's doing real well. And I was like, "You making six figures yet?"
No.
And he was like, I'm thinking about getting a Tesla, if that answers your question.
I'm sure he only works like 20, 30 hours a week.
No, he works. Again, I can't say what he does, but I mean, he's a programmer, and he's at the top of his game, of his company, if you will. But he's just gonna keep making more money. Like, right. That's and he's younger than me.
That's the thing that I like. I think a lot of our life when we're younger is set up for making money.
Yeah.
And not a lot of it is. I shouldn't say that. For some people, a lot of our life, you know, especially like, you know, your boomers, your Gen X to a certain extent, a lot of it's based on making money.
Yeah.
And then our generation a lot of it was based on, you know, making yourself happy.
Mm-hmm.
And now Gen Z is about making yourself happy, but also making money.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like, and I think that's something that happened with millennials, where we were just so focused on making ourselves happy.
Yeah.
Like, we were like, you know, the kind of the hipster generation, just like, yeah, just do artisanal milk. That's just what I do. Like,
yeah.
It's like, you do artisanal milk? Like, yeah, it doesn't really live much. I live with like 6 roommates in like a 100 square foot apartment, but it's fine.
It's great.
I have my own bunk bed, so like,
I got the top bunk. It's all right.
Like, and you know, that's the
that's a good, yeah.
I think that's what our generation was kind of based around, and now we're where a lot of us are, you know, all of us are older now, so we're at that kind of like, oh wait, maybe we need to make money. So a lot of us are getting depressed and like sad, and we're like going into coding now because we're like, okay, time to stop. Like, I need to move on from art history.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Not saying you can't make money doing that stuff. It's a lot of it, you know, we didn't think about making money.
It just when I have a weekend like I did,
yeah,
like I almost feel like bad or like selfish.
What do you mean?
For
not working?
Not for not working, but just like for like going out. Like I don't know, man. This band directing world is just, it's so pointed in like, nope, you're done. Like, it just feels like once you become a band director, you're done having fun. Like, you're done enjoying things for the sake of enjoying things. It's like,
well, like you're done. You're done having 20-year-old fun.
Yeah.
I feel like for a lot of band directors, like once you get your gig, it's like, all right, now it's time to just. You're 40 now. Like,
exactly.
Right,
exactly. Yeah. Like this. Like today.
Like, I kind of know a lot of band directors that like once they got they got their.
They got the gig. They got the lady. They got the dude. They got. The nice apartment. A lot of them ain't even got houses yet.
Yeah.
And but they're locked down like as if they do, as if they've got that 2,500 square foot white picket fence.
Right. It's like that's it.
Yeah.
I'm
never gonna go out and go have mimosas at brunch.
Yeah. The concept of like going out is like very gone after once all that's set up.
Yeah. But it's like, why?
I think it's just not the. I don't know. I can't.
Because it almost makes me feel like I'm a bad director because I'm not doing it the same way that the good directors are. You know what I'm saying?
This sounds very like pointed, but I think it's like single person energy. Like.
What do you mean? Go on that.
I think it's definitely a like whenever you're single, and by single I mean like not married. Whenever you're single, you have this like energy to just like you're still gonna go out, socialize. Like there isn't so much like commitment to staying inside. Like hey, everyone's going out to this like winery for the weekend. Let's go. Like it's a kind of that kind of just like jump in a car and drive off kind of thing. So like whatever, a lot of that, I think it's like a kids thing. Well, because like I think people that are, they even if they don't have kids, they're kind of like in like kid mode. They kind of go like, all right, we don't do anything this weekend. Like,
yeah.
I think that's kind of the. I think that's what I mean by like single person energy is like you're just like, yeah, I can go to. Like I can drive to Dallas right now and like be fine.
Yeah.
like I
don't know. It's this weird thing of I want that,
but also don't want.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like I kind of do dread the moment where I'm like, no, I'd rather just like. Well, I mean, I have moments. I have moments of like I kind of just rather stay in.
Yeah.
But I also do have the let's make a road trip to Arkansas. Like let's just go there right now.
Yeah. And I've talked about this before, and I don't know if it was on the podcast or not, but about a weird thing that I have to consider of like finding a lady is the fact that this weekend I just stayed on people's couches.
Yeah, you're gonna get hotels.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no. That is the problem with not being single is you can't like I've got mad like single dude energy when it comes to like being somewhere. Like I'm like I mostly want to sleep on my bed.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm like I don't like if I'm out somewhere like I will sleep anywhere, but I'm trying to get to my bed as quick as possible.
That's fair.
And that also means I can sleep on the floor. Like hey, if I don't really need much work. Like I need to get to sleep and then get
quick two.
I mean like get to the next day kind of thing.
Yeah,
I need to get to the next day. I'm not so much like I'm trying to be comfortable and like no, I need to get to the next day. Let's get on the floor. Let's get to sleep.
I feel that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely single dude vibes. That's how it goes.
It's just this weird kind of internal battle, man. Of being
I don't know how it
of being grown but not being grown, but
right, because we definitely I think college kind of sets that up for you poorly.
So bad.
Like like college, like I thought by the time you graduated college, good to go.
Yeah.
like when you're 18 and you see a bunch of like 22-year-olds and you're just like,
yeah,
oh man, that guy, I want to be that guy when I grow up.
I want to be that guy all day.
Like,
and then I got to 22 and I was like, what am I doing?
Like, who, this guy? I had one kid actually, he told me like after I think it was like after I graduated or it was after I graduated. He came up to me and was like, I went back to Denton to just hang out with some friends and he was like, oh yeah, I got to direct. I get to direct to the choir. Like I felt like I was like just like you. I was like, you don't want to feel just like me. I was depressed for a lot of that. Like,
get other aspirations, kid.
Like I was like, no, you don't. This isn't what you want.
I'm flattered.
I think that's how it goes, though. I think you like throughout your life. I think I had this thought years and years ago. Was like you have stages of having your stuff together, and college, messes with the idea of like you should have your life together by the end of college. No.
And
I think to me now that I'm like 24, I'm thinking, you know what? I should probably be like okay by 30. I should be like, like maybe not like having a kid by 30, but like, well, I don't know.
It's this odd thing of like, I knew in 5 years I was going to be like, have a clear idea of what I was doing. But I did not consider years 2, 3, or 4. Does that make sense?
Huh.
Because when I got here, it was just like, yeah, man, I'm gonna give myself 5 years to figure it out here, and then I'll like after the end of that 5 years, I'll have a clear idea of like how I teach, what I like, what I do.
That's the gnome thing, the South Park thing of like you got step A,
exactly,
step C, step B is like
I have no idea what step B was, and I'm in step B right now.
Right.
And I'm so stressed.
It's filled with COVID.
It's filled with COVID. It's filled with living in a town that's surrounded by families and children. So that the whole idea of dating somebody is wild.
Yeah.
I am still working between 3 cities.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have 3 vehicles. Why? I don't know, but I have them.
At least you have them now. And it's no longer things you want.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I have to have my shit together a decent amount to be able to casually afford 3 vehicles.
Yeah. I got 3 saxophones. Living life large.
Living life large, dog. And it's so stressful being in the middle of my 5-year plan because I did not consider the middle of my 5-year plan.
Episode title, man, the middle. Because like that's a crazy like thought.
Yeah.
Like the fact that from year one, because I'm definitely like thinking like the exact same way. It's like. I was like,
we were mad confident.
I was like, year 5, I'm gonna be the GOAT. Like,
have it all together,
like,
dog.
I'm gonna be good. And now I'm in year 3, and I'm like, I
did something.
A couple of you were, you're awful. Why are you awful? Look at the rest of them are fine. Why are you the worst? like I mean, that's also. It's also teaching. Teaching, especially teaching beginners, and even teaching high school. Like, there's always a new group of people coming in. So, while you may feel good at your job, so there is going to be... Like, I had to, like, figure out this year, I had a kid who couldn't play flute at all. Tried. Like, couldn't try it all. And then, like, it took me months to figure it out. But once we finally did figure it out, I was like, and now the kids, like, played her whole solo this last week, and I was like,
hell yeah.
I was like, yeah, it takes moments of, like, you know, things get better. Things get better slowly. And I think it's just a thing we don't, like, expect is that year 2 to 4. No one really expects that slow growth. Because you're thinking that I should be, like, we just want to jump to the end.
No, I'll just figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, but here we are.
No, it's a lot of
figuring it out.
It's a lot of pain and falling down.
So stressful.
Yeah. Like, think about, like, you and, like, your bike. Like, you're going to be really good at riding your bike in a couple of years. You're falling down a couple of times.
Falling down a couple of times.
But that's how
a bunch of curbs. I don't think I'm going to be hitting curbs anymore. Fingers crossed.
But that's how it goes.
Yeah.
You, like, you fall down a bunch. Like, I had 3 accidents in the first 6 months of driving my car. I'm a pretty good driver now. You fall down a bunch, and then, like, once you're falling down enough, you're decent. But no one expects the falling down.
No one expects the falling down, and nobody expects the toll it takes on you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it takes a huge toll. And some people, like, they're not willing to handle that toll. That they're not willing to... or, I mean, like, there's not willing to handle the toll, and there's also it just not being for you.
Yeah.
Like, if doing it to... Like, if teaching or coding or whatever you're doing, if you're doing that till you're 60, if it doesn't sound good to you, like, then,
yeah.
don't do it. Like, I don't know. I get so weird about, like, thinking about the future. I'm so weird about thinking about, like, because I'm a futurist. I like to be, like, 5 years ahead in my head. I'm like, but you're in year 3 of, like, what are you talking about being year 5? You don't know anything about year 5. You know about this week, maybe.
Barely.
I still got a plan this week. Like,
I got a couple rehearsals. I got an audition.
See, we didn't think about this stuff, like, the first year.
Yeah.
We didn't think about now.
We did not think about it. Exactly, yeah.
Like, imagine if, like, I mean, this is a weird, like, Ted and Barney situation. But like, imagine if, like 3 years ago, Evan and 3 years ago, Marcus were sitting here just, like, just sad.
Just being sad. Like, this is sad boy hour almost, like, to the week.
Right, yeah.
Like, we're in it.
Yeah.
I want to kill myself 3 years ago. I'm having to muscle through auditions so that way we could have the names turned in for next year by May 1st.
Yeah. I'm definitely considering, like, quitting my job. I was, like, ready to be, like, all right, I'm going to go back to grad school, go do something, like, else. Like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, those guys, like, they did not think about, like, before the failures, they did not think about, I guess you don't think about failure when you're younger.
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
But the reason why we balled out so hard is because we didn't think about failure. Would we have tried as much as we did first year had we considered the option of failure?
Dude, I don't even. Well, we have considered. Oh man.
Would we be as good now as we are?
If we didn't fail?
Yeah, if we didn't eat it a couple times.
Most certainly not.
You know what I mean? Like, had we been, like, super calculated and, like, all right, I'm going to be super safe and I'm just going to do this one thing and I'm going to then this one thing will lead me to this thing, like
had we been measured from them? Now wait, is that, like, saying, like, this is public knowledge, but like if I went in like to UIL my first year thinking 2s and 3s.
God damn it.
Like, like if I went into UIL my first year thinking that,
yeah,
would I? Would have been
And are we worse? Would we have been worse teachers had we been like, I'm only gonna get a 3. I know I'm only gonna get a 3.
Oh, that's where it happened. That's weird.
Because that's where I start thinking about, like, as a fighter, like, you can't think about getting knocked out. You can see, like, you acknowledge that there is a chance that I get punched in the face and my lights go out. But you cannot say going to the fight like,
I'm probably gonna get knocked out.
I'm probably gonna get knocked, because then you're gonna get cracked and that's it. You have to go in there thinking that I'm the best. I'm gonna put this guy's lights out. Easy money, guaranteed, no doubts, show enough. And then sometimes you do win.
I think you can. But you have to be willing to accept the consequences. I think you can definitely, like, if we went in that first year and definitely, sorry, I'm talking about on both sides of the spectrum. If you go in thinking, like, I'm definitely going to get 1s, like, I'm going to be the best, I'm going to knock this person out, you have to understand that you might fail.
Yeah.
And when you do fail, you got to pick yourself back up and keep going. The other side is if you go in with the expectation, I'm going to do okay. I'm going to be good. Not going to be great.
Yeah.
You have to also deal with the fact that this is where the whole, like, later on life thing comes, when people, like, have all their, like, goals, like, everything's all set up or whatever, the white picket fence or whatever. I think by then you get to that point of, like, you have to accept that your growth is kind of over. Like, you have to accept that. So it's either accepting possible failure or accepting, possible possible containment. Like, all right, this is as big as you get.
God. That's awful.
And, like, I mean, I think you can get to that. You know, eventually you can get to. You're 35. You have a kid. You got the spouse. Like, you're still, like, striving for, greatness. Like, you can still do that. You can, but still expect failure. Don't.
Yeah.
Don't like. But you can also do the other thing. I think that's a thing we all struggle with. Is like, do you want to go ahead and just have your expectations managed?
Yeah.
or do you want to keep striving?
Yeah.
Because you can stop striving. You can really.
The argument against the calculatedness is like the saying, like, if you shoot for the moon, at least you'll land on the stars.
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah. So had if we had actually, like, from day one, typed it out and, like, we're like, all right, this is how I get there, like.
Here's the other side of it. Would that be as gratifying? Would you have as much fun if you weren't out here taking big shots?
Okay. This is a delayed gratification thing.
What is? What we're doing, or the opposite of what we did?
The opposite of what we did.
Yes.
If we had, from day one, decided that, okay, 5 years from now, like, if we had actually planned, I can't hear. No, it's still delayed.
It's still delayed?
Like, a little bit, right?
I don't think so, Doug.
Okay, maybe.
You might be tripping out.
I don't know. It's weird. if from day one we had said, if we had planned out years 2, 3, and 4, basically, if like, you know, like say if like student like, you have a student named John, say John, you know, like John's a trumpet player in 7th grade.
Yeah.
By the time that kid is a 12th grader, we had planned that far. Like, all right, John's here, we need to get him here. All right, by 10th grade, he needs to be making all region. Okay, so he's got to have this kind of range, have this kind of like build up, and like, you know, everything's working up to like, all right, there's no way this kid can't make region.
Yeah.
Unless he like doesn't practice at all. There's no way this kid can't make region. If we had planned it out that way, it wouldn't be as gratifying, but it would be more, I think it's more manageable at that stage.
Is it more manageable? Because that feels the opposite. In my head, that feels, not calculated, that's not the word I'm looking for. Contrived?
Yeah, well, like getting that kid to, you should push that kid from 7th grade to be making region when he's in 8th grade.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not as
like that takes the wonder out of the kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's bananas. It's bananas. Like, had you told me the kid at the top,
yeah,
his sophomore year was gonna be playing Pure Imagination for state solo ensemble.
Yeah,
I'd be like, no,
he's not.
He doesn't got that.
He's not gonna do that.
Yeah, he doesn't got that. And then last year, he didn't even do solo ensemble. Like, he just dropped the ball. He completely forgot.
Yeah.
Like, he just, you know, poorly managed his time, and only finished half, like 3/4 of the solo.
Yeah.
And so he got disqualified. And then this year, I just told him, play this easy one, get the guarantee, and then you can do whatever you want for state.
Yeah.
And that's what he did, and now he's like a couple bars left. Like, I think 15 bars left of the piece. Like, he shouldn't have.
That shouldn't have happened.
That shouldn't have happened. Like, had we done the rungs thing, he wouldn't have done the solo that I gave him last year.
Yeah.
He would have gotten he would have done the easy one, picked something a little bit more difficult.
And to me, that's the wonder.
Yeah.
Like the wonder to me comes from when they beat your expectations.
Yeah.
But I think from a teaching this is like thinking like teaching without the student in mind, which is very like anti-teaching. But when you're teaching and you're sort of focused on like how your program is doing overall, I think that's where the idea of having things contrived is better for you, like from a mental standpoint.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not going to make it.
Because you
I can never focus on the entire ensemble.
Okay.
I am always thinking about each individual kid. I put my face through the wall. Daily, trying to figure out how to make this kid better. Instead of thinking like, I will just give him the tambourine part. He could play 2 and 4.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well, I'm not saying that like you have. I'm not saying you have standards for each year. I'll just show you my document because I know
you got documents. Though.
But I have like a planned out thing of like how a kid should progress from 6th grade all the way to 12th grade, and it's like by certain points you're like, if you don't have this down, you need to have it down.
Yeah, and I guess the the frustration lies in not knowing where they started.
That's true.
I think that's a majority of where my frustration comes from with these younger cats at the high school.
Right.
Is like, halfway through the year, I'm finding out that you don't know syncopated eighth notes. Like,
right.
You don't understand the end of two, a dotted quarter eighth note. Like,
right.
What do you mean you don't? What?
Like, you don't understand how to come on the end of. No one ever like.
and then you're trying to figure out like, okay, what steps were skipped?
I mean, that's a lot of like rote teaching because like I mean, a lot of the times when you teach things by rote, the idea of like how doesn't really make sense to those kids later on. They're like, the end of two. You teach me how the rhythm goes, and then I play.
Yeah.
Like you teach me how the rhythm goes, and then I know it. That's the whatever. But yeah, that stuff really. If you're not focused on the whole program, it can be very exhausting. Mm-hmm. If you're focused on each individual student, it can be very, very rewarding because you're like, hey, you did good.
Yeah.
But I've also learned, this is the thing I've also like really understood this year, and I don't know why it took me 3 years to figure it out, but sounds so weird to say every time I say it out loud. They will eventually get it.
Yep.
It's one thing I did not think about until I was like, oh, like, I mean, kids that had no idea of 16 notes like a couple of years ago. I'm sure they do fine at 16 notes now.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that's a thing that, I mean, I have beginner clarinet players I can think about this year where I'm like, 2 months ago, I was like, you're not going to learn your solo. You're not going to.
Yeah.
And now they're like doing okay. And I'm like, they'll eventually get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, yes, you want to focus on like the individual student. And I still do that. I still definitely like, I know where each kid is at technically. Like, I know their skills, I know their strengths, I know their weaknesses. But I think having awareness of that without having like control over it is a part of like getting to that retirement age. Is like, like you have awareness of like where they're at, but you don't have to have control over it. That's where I think a lot of that.
I gotta have control, Doug. I have to have control.
Yeah, and that's why making it to 40 is gonna be a.
It's just not gonna happen. I know it's not, and I accept it.
No.
Food truck.
I mean, yeah, you got other.
It's a thing afterwards, or this blows up.
I have no other aspirations besides like. No, I have no other. I mean, conducting like on a major level, but like.
Going back to that millennial thing, just like I think about things that make me happy. It's either changing kids' lives or making food.
Yeah, only thing that makes me happy is like conducting or I was gonna say jazz. Jazz don't make me happy like that. I like playing jazz.
Yeah,
it gives me joy, but it doesn't make me like. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I get to play jazz. Like,
yeah.
Like it's not like my bread and butter, as they say. Yeah, that's the hard part. It's getting to that like level of like awareness of what their problems are and control over those problems. Can't have control over all of it, otherwise you're gonna like literally. It's like having like a grip on something. Like your hand's gonna get tired. You can have it in your hand for a while, but if you want to have a grip on it the whole time, it's gonna hurt.
We're shooting for 15.
15 years. 15 years is a decent teaching career. No,
I say I'm pretty certain on this. I've got one more high school after this, and then the only way I last longer after that is middle school.
Yeah, I I want to do some high school here soon. Not next year, but like soon. I need to, just so I can know if I like it more, because I don't know. I don't I don't know if I am. I like doing the middle school thing. The middle school thing is so much fun. I know I have middle school like energy.
Yeah.
Like people talk about, there's a high school director that does not have middle school energy. Mm-hmm. Like, I have middle school energy. I can walk up to my kids and be like I can do that stuff all the time. But if you're not capable of doing that, then
I love the simple roasts.
Oh yeah,
I love the middle school roast. Like at the high school, I got to be on it,
right?
To like have the banter with the kids. But at the middle school, I'm just like, ha, nerd, with your shirt and
they just look at you like, oh no, he got me. Like I threw something at I threw like a pencil at one of my kids is like an athlete or whatever, and he like missed the catch. I was like, really? You're the quarterback? Really? You? Like, wait, you're a wide receiver? You should be catching those.
You sure?
And like the whole band like shuts down, like, oh, like you can't do that in high school.
Can't do that in high school, man. You gotta come with it. Told Antonio he built like an eraser. Like that, you gotta have some creativity with it.
Right.
You can't just be like, you got a big forehead.
Right. They just cry. No, they're not crying, but they're, yeah. But I need to know if I can.
I feel that
if I can do the high school thing.
I think that's why because I've had to bounce around. Yeah. I know where my strengths are, and I think ultimately like my teaching strengths is middle school. But
because the thing is, like, I like teaching beginner middle school, and then like when I got to teach like sectionals, like during summer band, like getting to teach like full, I was like, yo, like I felt it, man.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I missed this, like, all right, we're set here.
Yeah.
Like I missed that kind of like that energy. So that's I gotta know.
The reason why I say I've got one more high school in me is that like I got to get to that high school where everybody's matching that energy.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
a psychopath. I'm gonna get after it, but it'd be really cool if everybody was getting after it with me.
Right. Yeah. If there could be a certain amount of like, we need to be on this all the time.
Yep.
Until like. On it until, because I think there's two. That's probably the last thing I like. I don't know how far we're in, but like there's two kinds of like energy when it comes to that stuff. It's like okay, we'll eventually get there, but we can kind of relax today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, you can't. It's July. Like, we can't relax today.
There's no relaxing.
Like, I don't. It's July. It's no. Not. It's July. July you can ramp up, like but in August.
Nah, baby, we're in it.
but in August, you don't relax in August. No, August is like Stressville, USA. You like you're in it to win it.
Hell yeah.
I mean you should be in it till the last horns down at the end of the contest. Yep. At the end of the last contest, that's when you should be. So yeah, there's two ways you can do that. You can kind of relax then or relax later on. Like, all right, we're good to go. We should be.
Or option C, never relax. Ball out until you die.
I am never relaxed ever.
Till the wheels fall off, baby.
Oh,
that's what we're about out here.
Yeah, I don't need that.
No, man.
I'm gonna be. That's
till the wheels fall off.
Like I'm already uptight enough. I don't need to be. If I was like uptight at work, like all the time, oh man, I'd be exhausted.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's not fun.
But you've had some moments of like being able to relax and stuff.
I think it's mostly because the battery's dead.
It's true. Yeah.
It's a forced relax.
Yeah. Not being like, oh wait, I don't teach this weekend. Like,
But we'll see what happens, man. We're buckling up year 4.
Yeah.
Excuse me, year 3. About to jump into year 4.
Yeah. Did you ever think about year 4 would get here?
Hell nah.
I didn't picture year 4 at all. I was like, because we're seniors as far as band goes.
Yep.
Like teaching band goes. So like, I've been teaching band for. I should be really good at this. Like, which we're okay now.
Yeah.
We're not bad. Teaching in a COVID year was weird, but like next year I was thinking like as I do at the end of the year, I like to like kind of reevaluate and see what I need to do next year. I was like, next year I should be pretty good. I have a small band, but I have a solid system as far as like things goes. I'm like, that shit should go okay.
Yeah. I think you're fortunate because you have a system. You've been able to set up a system, and I still don't think I've been able to set up a system like as clean as you have.
Yeah, I'm just neurotic. So like, I like to be like super like this is how it's done.
I mean that's the goal. That's how I plan for things to be, but just by nature of.
You gotta get teaching tools.
Huh?
You gotta get teaching tools. So against teaching tools, you get
I know.
Like you teach the same things, just write it down.
Yeah.
Just write it down.
I'm working on. I'm doing it this year. I got a lot of exercises written out this year.
Good.
So. Yeah, and that's part of the goal for next year is just have like. I don't want the 6th graders to buy anybody's book specifically.
Right.
I'm just gonna have like a bunch of handouts. Just here's a binder. Figure it out. So. We'll see what happens, man.
Year 4. Here we go.
Year 4. Onward. Here we go.
It's a very weird episode compared to our mental health episode. It's like hopeful, but like understandably hopeful. Like we understand what the next. Back then we didn't really understand what we were like. Oh, but now we're kind of like cautious. We're cautious, but we're.
It's gonna suck a little less.
Yeah.
But it's gonna suck.
That's how it goes, man. Keep doing it every day. It's gonna suck less eventually.
The goal is just suck a little less every day.
Oh.
Then eventually you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Man. Hey man, it was a good one. Nice recap.
Yeah.
For the week, and as we go into the rest of the 6 weeks, man. God bless. We got one more week, right? And then we got the last 6 weeks?
No, we have 8 weeks, I think. All right. Pull our phone quick. Because I'm genuinely like, how long do we have left?
June 10th.
June 10th, right? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the last week of the 5 weeks.
Like 6.5 if you count that last week. It was a half week. It's only a half week, so.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
Oh, yes. Oh, I could do 6.5 weeks. 33 days.
It's light work, dog.
Even less. 31 days. I can do 31 days.
Did we get next Monday off?
I know we get next Friday. We whatever day is what day is the Memorial Day? Or it's rigatoni for dinner day. May 24th, everyone eat rigatoni pasta.
Why?
The internet told me to. Everyone's gonna do it. It's like that. Did you ever see the whole Josh fight thing?
Yeah.
They actually had that event.
I saw it. That's so dope.
See, that's the power of the internet. Everyone can just be like, all the Joshes are gonna meet. We're all gonna fight. Like, all right, cool.
I'm down. That's so goofy.
It's the power. So everyone's gonna eat rigatoni pasta on May 24th. There's just gonna be a bunch of people just eating rigatoni pasta. No one's gonna know why, but we're out here eating rigatoni pasta. Just spirals of. Why am I eating tubes? Everyone's eating tubes today. Tubes today.
Yeah, man.
No, I think we get 2 days off. I don't know if we get. I saw an email about Friday. I don't know if we get that Monday off too. I guess.
Because I mean, it's just kind of standard for us to always have the Monday after the 6 weeks to have off to get all the grades finalized.
And that's like Labor Day.
And that'd be next Monday.
It's like the 3rd.
Yeah.
We'll check the calendar.
Whatever.
But hey, we get those days off, and
shout out.
I'm excited about having days off.
If we get next Monday off, that means shared space rehearsal that day. Nice 4 hour. Let's go.
To have rehearsal. Check my Outlook calendar because the Outlook calendar knows all. Doesn't say anything about. We get a student staff holiday on Friday or Monday the 31st.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's the 31st of
April.
Of May.
Of May.
Ooh. Of May we get off.
Never mind.
Yeah, and we have another day off. I think they made that other day off on like the Friday before that, so we get a 4-day weekend that week.
Okay.
So hey, you get a rehearsal right before.
That'll be like my stage run.
Tech run.
Tech run. Yeah. That's good. Get to do. I'll probably do two for that Friday. Do like just a full ensemble day.
Sure.
And then Monday do like on stage.
Yeah.
Kind of set the stuff.
Kind of run the show.
Yeah, run the show. Yeah.
Hey, we'll make it.
We'll make it. A couple more weeks, Doug. We're gonna be out here. Then we're gonna be on year 4, and then we'll see what the hell happens.
No more COVID. It'll be
no more COVID. Bless up.
This will be our first regular year.
That's gross.
I won't have construction. Like
I won't have construction.
You'll have a weird band hall situation going on. We'll have a normal.
It won't be our first year of teaching. There won't be a pandemic in the middle of the year. Yeah. We won't be dealing with a pandemic throughout the year.
Right. It will be just a normal year. Nothing weird.
Hell yeah.
Could possibly have a band camp like for at least for middle school. Like we could have a band camp before.
Hell yeah.
That's never happened in my 3 years of teaching. They talk. It happened years ago.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened in my past 3 years of teaching. So.
We'll see, man.
Have a nice normal year.
Cheers, bud. I want to have this conversation with like Jenny Yee.
Oh yeah.
Somebody like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That'd be interesting to like have that like perspective. I know my couple of my colleagues. I hate using that word.
I hate that word.
This guy Jack Eady. He's a college band director now in Florida. He has a podcast where he talks about. He had a podcast with a first-year band director, a 5th year, and a 10th year.
Damn.
And he just talked to the 3 of them, three African American males. Talked to them about all right, how's your first
how's
year going?
Yeah.
How's your 5th year going? How's your 10th year going? Yeah, it'd be interesting to have a conversation with so, did you get to the point where you were like, man, I forgot about year.
For how many years did you hate yourself?
I mean, I know some people talk about it being every 2 years you have that moment of I don't want to do this anymore. I'm like, oh boy.
God bless. Hopefully it's not the case. Well,
we'll find out.
As always, Doug. Appreciate you, Big Doug. Everybody that's been rocking with us all the way to the end. Appreciate y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace. Thank you.